All right, let's get this started. Let's light up. Release that instant here. Okay, so I've been holding off so long to do this, but I want to do a reading and also some astrological aspects on the passing of Prince, artist formerly known as Prince, and Shock G. Let me blow it out. Okay. All right, so Prince had supposedly had passed away from his Vicodin being laced with fentanyl, and Shock G, they still haven't found reasoning behind Shock G's death. So I did a reading over Prince probably a while back, maybe a year back, on who had, what led up to his passing and, all that and stuff. And there was some woman around. Some woman was around that showed up in the reading. She was more of a earthly water woman, but however, let's see if she comes up again, right? Let's go. So I'm gonna do Prince first here. Got the Two of Pentacles in the pack. Yeah, we're doing two. Prince and Shock G. All right, I hope you can see very well here. Judgment. So see the caskets in the cut. We have a Two of Cups here. Connected. Connected. This is all alleged. This is for entertainment purposes only, I should say. Get that disclaimer out there. We have the Lovers in the cut. Queen of Swords. We have a Knight of Pentacles. Ace of Cups. The Wheel of Fortune. Chariot. So Prince. Let's ask the question, right? Prince. What led to Prince's death and all that? We have a Two of Cups. Who was around? Who laced? And supposedly his Vicodin was laced with fentanyl, deadly substance. Emperor, Temperance. Somebody was in control. Ace of Pentacles. Empress. Knight of Swords. High Priestess. Chariot. Alright, I'm going to stop it right there with the Chariot. We have an Eight of Swords in the cut. Ace of Pentacles. And a High Priestess. So somebody who may have been confined. It has something to do with some money. Possibly somebody also who keeps secrets. We want to know. I want to know. We want to know why. What led to Prince's death? Prince, artist formerly known as Prince. What led to his death? Who was around? Who did it? Right? Let's do this. Okay. So I do a 9-card spread. If you come with 10 cards, then I'll read it as a Celtic cross. But I do a 9-card spread to read past, present, and future tense. Whatever comes out like that card there. Let's see here. We have a Five of Swords here. So a win at all costs, a pride before the fall here. There's conflict, disagreements, competition also. Instability. Overexertion as well, I believe. Prince's body was being overexerted, up to the end of his passing. But however, this is a sneaky card. A sneaky individual is in the midst. And if, anybody who was, was behind it, they knew Prince was probably, his body was a little weak. He was probably doing his little performances, concerts and stuff. Your body tends to be a little bit vulnerable to things, and you want to take something for it, of course. So sneakiness is here. First card. In the shadows, we have the Hierophant. So this pretty much speaks more about organization. This is well organized, right? This is organized. Has to do with Hollywood. Hierophant is a Hollywood card for me when I, speak of the Hierophant. Yeah, it's also a teaching. It's also of learning. However, it's speaking of, somebody up top, right? You have somebody of the Pope, the Vatican, right? And we do our research, we know about the Vatican Pope, and whenever your taxes and stuff, you pay your taxes, the rumor is it goes, to the Vatican, some of it. So whenever you go to church and pay your teas and stuff, the pastor or whomever, has to turn in their teas, and a portion of it goes to the Vatican. So this is somebody up top, somebody, who could pull the strings. Let's see here. Bullies. Somebody bullying, abusive relationship. It could be somebody who was, thieving from him that he knew. But no. Let's see here. Five of Swords resonates the 5 card. It's a first decan in Aquarius. So that time period it represents. So that would be like the end of January. I need to look up when he did pass away. What the significance of this is 57. I believe he was like 57 or 58 years old when he passed, and that's when the Saturn return comes around. I'm like, a lot of, it's not a lot, but it's coincidentally, celebrities are passing at age 57, 58, just like Shock G. I think he was like 57 or 58 when he passed. I'm like, these people weren't in bad health or anything. Come on. But, both of their autopsies proved that, wasn't accidental. And they still don't know what caused Shock G's passing. So, yeah. Let's see here. Secrets. So somebody higher up has defeated Prince here. And it's real sneaky energy. It's conflicted. There has come a disagreement between the two or between the parties or whatever with Prince. Just possibly somebody, like I say, that has to do with business, the business side of things. Pulling the strings, it could be a conglomeration of people here, but who actually pulled the trigger, and who actually sent the message to pull the trigger. And so cards. Get a good card here. Conflict, disagreements, competition, defeat. Somebody who wants to win at all costs here. This is past energy as we speak here. When Prince was alive. Past energy. Somebody sneaky and, behind the scenes. And this could have culminated in the first decan of Aquarius. Let's see. When did Prince pass? Let's just get this out the way while we shuffling. April 21st, 2016. So maybe we'll get a timeline here, right? Let's see here. That was the beginning of Taurus season. April 21st. All right. And I was on social media, like on my Facebook, and I said, oh my gosh, I hope I get to see Prince, you know, come to my town, when I was in Texas and whatever. And I think he actually did, but I was doing other things and stuff and, got busy. And then next thing I know, he passed away. Like, oh my gosh. So here we have the 9 of Cups. This is more of somebody feeling, a bit full of themselves, but it speaks of indulgences. It can speak of drinking, but it can also just speak of just being real satisfied here. So wishes coming true. So somebody here, it could be something of contract with that 5 of Swords, because Swords speaks as contract. So somebody behind the scenes could be like, doing something sneaky and, blindsided by it. For instance, blindsided by it, he's like, oh, well, wishes coming true. This is past present here, whenever Prince was living. My wishes are coming true, And the thing about it is Prince may had, pissed some people off, supposedly, however, being eccentric, sarcastic. Whatever, people don't like the truth, but 9 of Cups was his past present energy here. In the shadows is the Fool. Like I said, blindsided, right? Blind faith, going about the business. As oh yeah, I got all these cups here, possibly all awards, money, even though Pentacles aren't here yet. All these awards, these trophies, I'm living the life. As I should. As he should, a great artist. So here we have 3 of Pentacles. This speaks of plan, teamwork, collaboration, promotions, get-togethers, spying as well. It could be a spy card because it's Scorpio. But more than other us, it's teamwork, it's learning, it's implementing and building something here. This is the past future energy. Teamwork. It could have been somebody who he had teamwork with, but here we have the Hierophant again and, the background and these shadows. Hollywood, business, work. Here comes the Pentacles, right? Satisfied with what he does. He's fulfilled with what he does. He know he's good at what he does. Pompous, right? Indulging. Gets the collab. He gets the, the teamwork going. He gets what he, wants as far as hiring whoever, to play with him when it comes to music. But then there's like possibly like a spy here in the background. Like I said before, 3 of Pentacles speaks of spying. It's more of a triplicity card. These stages of completion as well. So a collab had completed. This could be something had completed with a third party here, just another person in the background. So he gets the collab, he gets the deal, right? That is past future energy. 3 of Pentacles. Deal was made in the past, deal made in the future. Building, implementation, implementing something. Okay. Now, so we have the 9 of Cups. So we have the 5 of Swords, which is the first decan Aquarius. And then we have the 9 of Cups, which is the second decan of Pisces. And then we have the 3 of Pentacles, which is the second decan of Capricorn. Here we have the King of Wands. Who is this? And in the shadows is the Eight of Cups. So, walking away from this collaboration, this team, right? With the Eight of Cups in the shadows. And feeling quite, as a natural leader to do so. This could be him. King of Wands. Or it could be somebody who got perturbed about him leaving. It's either way it goes. This follows right under the Five of Swords. Somebody could maybe think that Prince was sneaky, huh? By leaving. Or somebody wanted to, shice Prince out for leaving. Yeah. Let's see here. This would be a man, if anything. Possibly a business partner if it was somebody else, but this is Prince. It would be him leaving, a contract, and pretty much being a leader himself and taking the high road and going on about his business. King of Wands represents the third decan of Scorpio and the second decan of Sagittarius. I believe Prince was either a Libra or a Gemini, so I don't. We'll see what the next card is. King of Wands is speaking of past, present energy here. And Prince was alive. Alright, this one to come out. Justice. Justice card is here. It could be something to do with some legal matters. Weighing the options of what will happen. This was the present energy here. The Justice card. So there could have been somebody he probably tried to take to legal battle with. He could have. Was attempting to. The shadows is the Three of Swords here. Something about something that was being grieved over. Some type of heartbreak, loss, depression. I don't know if this is about a woman or if it's more about business. But there's justice here in the middle. Speaks about laws. Speaks about weighing and getting truth and clarity behind some things. Now, I had read that there was something about that made him feel like he was tipped off, right? That he was tipped off that somebody was out to shiest him, the Five of Swords here. And so that may well be him, the King of Wands, because he got pissed off about it. And then here's the Justice card here, with the truth, the realization of it. Now, if he's Libra, this could be a combination of his energy here as well. King of Wands and the Justice card here. Yeah. So that's telling me that he's pissed about some type of collaboration, some type of teamwork he thought was going pretty good. But end up, having this heartbreak notion to it. Some divorce. Hurt, loss, and sorrow. Okay. One card come out. Ooh. Let's see. The Hangman comes out here. And then right after is the Two of Pentacles, and then the Ten of Pentacles here. This has something to do with generational wealth. The Hanged Man. There's some type of pause here. A surrendering energy. This could come across with for communication. There's a sacrifice. Okay. Something. Okay. I have my notions about this are just itching. My notions about this is something that has to do with a contract here. Something about a sneaky little contract and behind the scenes in the background that happened. And, Prince pretty much got with, and collabed with somebody or got with an organization here. And he didn't like how business was running. So pretty much he goes his own way as a natural leader with the King of Wands here. Seeks justice as well as, Libra. However, there's some type of sacrifice that happens here in the present future. Having to surrender. And he had viewed things differently. Remember before he thought he was saved. He thought, well, he wasn't, the one that would be off. 57 years old though. Why would you think that you would be saved and you would be one of the saved ones? What were you really speaking of? Because that's what Prince was speaking of before he passed, that he thought he was one of the quote unquote saved ones, like, hey, I want to think of, somebody was come here to offer me. Cause and effect of something would happen with this collaboration. Here are the Two of Pentacles. This is past, future. So he had multiple priorities, juggling a lot of things, waiting for the, things to abide by. He probably was in his head about, somebody trying to offer me and, just, juggling things at once, trying to keep him busy, his mind busy, possibly here trying to juggle some things though. However, here in the future present, we have wealth, Ten of Pentacles. We have long-term success. We have contribution. This is Virgo. So this is an ultimate completion, a result of a true will. It's like there is a will. This was a will to be had, and it's right under the Justice card. It's like some type of contract thing going on here. Some type of law about some money. We have Seven of Cups here in the background. So, a lot of things going on. Smoke and mirrors here. Not knowing when the time is up. Wishful thinking, illusions, and daydreaming. Like I say, he thought he was, not going to be put in a pile with some other people, right? But yet he come to the realization that that's not the case. He gets a new perspective here with the Hanged Man. Who's this? We have an Empress here. Okay, she came up in the cut. Future Empress. Feminine energy, woman, most definitely. Yeah, the Three of Wands here in the background, in the shadows. Look towards the Empress. If there's a woman around him, which I looked up, before I did that first reading, I saw that it was Earth, water sign woman, and then I read a little bit more and there was a woman around him. I think she's in the industry. singer or whatever, but I'm not going to put no rumors out there. However, she didn't come out for no reason, right? Okay. Somebody who's nurturing, all right? Feminine. This is Taurus. And I believe that woman was a Taurus. Okay. So, yeah. Anything on top here? Ace of Pentacles, possibly giving money for it. Looking for money, possibly here. Somebody from Prince or somebody to give her or give somebody some money. Ooh. The Devil. Looking forward to seeing the Devil here. I'm telling you, somebody around him that did something toxic to this man, Prince. Yeah. All right, so we got that on video. Let's go ahead and go to shot G, right? Let's see here. Shot G. Shot G, he was part of Digital Underground group. He found Tupac, I believe. So we have the Lover. So how did Shot G pass? Sorry, I'm messing with this mess. How did Shot G pass here? So we have the Lovers, the Ace of Cups. We have Justice here in the pack. How did Shot G pass? We have the Moon. We have the Nine of Pentacles. Something alone. We have Temperance. How did Shot G pass away? Page of Wands. Correct me on his real name, if anybody can. And then we have the Lovers. So we're going to end it on the Lovers since that came up twice. How did Shot G pass away? Who was around? Who was it? Who did it? Was it an accident? We want to know. Yeah, the Hermit. We are so searching. We're looking. Four of Pentacles. Lovers. Okay. So how did Shot G pass away? What led up to Shot G's death? How did Shot G pass away? What led up to his death? Yeah, they haven't arrested anybody. What's up with the justice system? Now, justice system was in the middle of Prince's reading, so it could be something with the justice systems behind this. I don't know what's up, but the coroner office, the coroner only can, the coroner did their job. They can just, pretty much say toxicology report and all that, but it's the justice system. What are they doing about Prince's death, right? Possibly a lot of people were paid. People were paid. How did Shot G pass away? We got a Page of Swords here. It's the Curiosity card. It's also a Stalker card as well. Some new ideas. There's, thirst for knowledge here. Nevertheless, it comes out as a Stalker card. It could be somebody who, lacks some mental, or has a lot of mental energy. In the background is a star. Assume that would be Shotji, either, being the star that he is or trying to get some healing done. Okay. Page of Swords. All right. So a page comes out here. It speaks of communication, new ways of communicating. And that's when I saw it. I said, oh, stalker. Mm. Okay. I had another deck, the Cosmic Tarot deck, when I did Prince's reading, so a little bit different. You have another page that comes out. Page of Wands. This could be somebody who's speaking quite confidently. It could be somebody, this page of Swords could be somebody in the background watching somebody speak. Here. In the shadows. It speaks of inspiration, discovery. Eight of Wands. So quite a bit about communication here. This Page of Wands is excited about something. They're inspired about something and discovering something. And then somebody here in the background is stalking. This is past energy here. Past, somebody's been stalking in the background. Page energy. And then here's the Page of Wands, past, present. Somebody. Could be somebody else having some inspiration about an idea. Okay. Free spirit here. Somebody here is exploring and excited about some type of idea. Something that would have limitless potential. Page of Wands. They're not messages, and they're people. It would give me Page of Wands would be Shakti. But however, this is his energy, then it's awfully curious and inspired by something or someone. Some information here. Exploring. I probably have to upload this entire video because I would doubt that I could put it in articles. So, yeah. Oh, cards. Well, not that many, but not going to take all of them. We have the Seven of Pentacles that comes out. Here, though, we have the Lovers. We have an Emperor and we have a Queen of Wands here. That Lovers card definitely loves to come out, right? I mean, it was in the cut twice, I believe. Here's the Emperor, speaking of daddy vibes or control, leadership. Somebody who wants to control, possibly this Queen of Wands. Let's see. See if we can get anything else come out. There. In the background here, when the Seven of Pentacles comes out, we have the Six of Swords. So this speaks to somebody traveling somewhere, thinking of a long-term view, hard work, persevering something, to investing in something here, to go travel somewhere in a foreign land, maybe to smooth things out, possibly here. Kidding. Trying to leave behind something. Leaving behind some money. So there was messages. It's curiosity around some money here. Oh, juice. Too many cards. Here's the lovers again. 10 of Cups at home, lovers, or somewhere, the house somewhere. Judgment. 2 of Swords, not to make a decision. Soul searching for some type of joy. Okay. Trying to search for some joy. Probably invested into something to, celebrate or have a good time. Go have a good time somewhere. Probably a message was sent out. Hey, you want to have a good time? Or, possibly he could be saying, hey, you want to go out, and go somewhere. The 8 of Cups. Walking away from something, some type of disappointment. Leaving behind again. Leaving behind some money here. Possibly somebody could have seen that he had some money or, was curious about that he had some money here. The 4 of Pentacles. And he was holding on to it in the shadows. Some money he could have been holding on to. More likely could have been trying to escape. Yeah. Could be trying to escape here. Leave something behind. Left some money behind. To go and escape and find some type of new adventure. Pack the bag, and went somewhere to go find a new adventure. Trusted in, some type of blind faith. Looked on the internet possibly to go see where to go. Unlimited possibilities. So very optimistic about what was going on here in the present. Yeah, present, past, walking away. Even though the all cups were up here, this could have been at night. And then taking a leap of faith here to go ahead and start a new beginning, escaping from something here. Escaping from some type of hard work, something with money as well. This could be children, or it could be just plain messages here. Okay. So we had the 2 of Pentacles. Waiting for the tide to pass by. Trying to wait for the shift to pass by. Juggling things. That's something to do with time management. Like waiting for things to pass by, but shoot, something to do with possibly love. Juggling love, possibly. But more or less, this is money here. But however, we have the Ace of Wands that falls out. And this speaks of having a new project. Probably took from the 7 of Pentacles to the two Pentacles from the 7 of Pentacles to start a new project here. And here's a High Priestess in the background. Secret. Could be a woman that's secretive, or it could be a secret project here. Or it could be both. Urge to create. It's trying to create possibly here. There's new opportunities and growth. We break some bread here. Okay. How did Shang-Chi pass away? We have the Five of Cups. So Ace of Wands, past, future, possibly has something to do with a project, urge to create, however, it was a regret. With the Five of Cups, a disappointment, a failure, a loss, some grief here. This is future, future, present here, present, future. In the background, there's Six of Wands, of public recognition. So some type of regret of public recognition here. Thought maybe some project was going to start off, but it was a disappointment. First, Decan and Scorpio. Five of Cups. Try not to make this too long. I want to make it over an hour. Okay, yeah. So the Seven of Pentacles drops down to this Five of Pentacles, as I thought. So as I was saying, the Seven of Pentacles here we have, right? He takes the Two of Pentacles out of that Seven of Pentacles for some type of project. Here we have the Two of Wands, Five of Pentacles. Now he's down to the Five of Pentacles here. Who's that lady? Just an assumption of, who it is. Looking towards on the internet for this person here. He's like, hey, I got something for you. Because this is right above it. Two of Pentacles. Out of the Seven of Pentacles I got Two of Pentacles to give to you so we can go on a little rendezvous possibly here. And here in the future comes out is the Two of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. I would love to do some clarifications on this. However, he was planning on something. He was planning future with something. I don't know if it'd go out, to travel, or whatever, but there was some type of traveling plans that were going on. This person left him out in the cold here because of the Five of Pentacles. Some type of felt maybe something about some money loss, or maybe had a habit to where there's money loss and she left or whatever. However, this is based on how did Shakji die? What led to his death, right? Here in the shadows, we have a Ten of Wands here. So burden, hard work, completions. Two of Swords, not able to make a decision about the lovers. What is this about? Was this over a broken heart? Happens to be over some type of connection though. I don't see anything possibly here to do with business. I see something to do with him going out, sending a message, or a message was sent to him and he's saying, okay, well, I got Seven Pentacles here, I'm going to leave what I got here, which was the Eight of Cups, here. I have Eight of Cups here, but I'm going to leave that and go on this new adventure with my Two of Pentacles. I took out the Seven Pentacles and start something new here. It could be with a lady friend or whatever, but it came up on regret. I don't know if something wasn't up to par or what. Something was regretful behind it. It looks like she left him. Here's Three Cups down now. Now it's at a Five of Cups with him and her. Yeah. People do die of broken hearts. Yeah, I could have been wounded here because look, I took some courage out on love. Took a risk out on love here. Here's the Knight of Wands. Up all night about it. Sacrifice. What's the sacrifice? Competition. Heartbreak. Hmm. It could have been, yeah, heartbreak. Huh. I don't see a woman actually, I see a woman walking away from what she feels a disappointment. I don't see a woman like actually getting, money off of this or anything, or basically like killing him. Like, even with the Ace of Wands, I don't even think there was like blunt force trauma. They were trying to say it was natural causes. Let's see here. Okay, so let's stick around if you want to see what the astrological relation to this is. So I'm going to go. Hopefully I can find it really quick. Let's see here. Just awful. Trying to find my Gmail. Is here. It wants to do funky little things. Like, there we go. Alright, so I was basically coming up with why are celebrities basically dying at 56, 57, 58 coincidentally. So I got a, grounded factual truth. It says there is no verified pattern showing that celebrities are dying disproportionately at ages 56, 57, or 58. What is happening is a mix of coincidence. Visibility in the way we notice patterns when several high-profile deaths cluster together. So, this is celebrities who died at 56, 57, 58, age 56. Steve Jobs, Abraham Lincoln, Sinead O'Connor, age 57, Prince, Patrick Swayze, Humphrey Bogart, and age 58, George Harrison. That's just to name a few. So, it's like why it feels like a pattern. Well, celebrity visibility, when a famous person dies, is widely reported. A few clustered deaths can create the illusion of a pattern. 2, the midlife health risk. Age 55 to 60 are statistically a time when heart disease risk rises, cancer risk rises, long-term lifestyle factors begin to show effects. This applies to the general population, not just celebrities. Cognitive bias. Humans are wired to notice repeating numbers. If you see 56, 57, 58 a few times, your brain flags it as meaningful even if it's random. 4, large sample size. There are thousands of notable public figures. With that many people, some will naturally die at any given age. Really? I just had this on. Oh my gosh. What the data does not show. No spike in mortality. Hold on. I do not want to go off. All right. No spike in mortality at these ages. No shared cause of death. No industry-specific pattern. No astrological or generational correlation supported by evidence. The list simply catalog individuals by age of death, not trends. Okay. And then we can say astrological symbolism of ages 56 to 58. These years sit inside one of the most profound metamorphic cycles in the human lifespan. In astrology, mid to late 50s mark a triple initiation, 3 major transits that reshape identity, purpose, and the body's relationship to time. The second Saturn return, age 58 through 59. Saturn equals time, mortality, limits, legacy. Around 58 to 59, every human experiences their second Saturn return, a karmic checkpoint that asks, what have you built? What remains unfinished? What must be released? What is your true legacy? Symbolically, Saturn returns are thresholds. The first, around 29, initiates adulthood. The second, around 58, initiates elderhood. For some, this is a time of crystallization. For others, it's a time of completion. Saturn's archetype is the reaper, not in a fatalistic sense, but in the sense of harvesting what the soul has sown. 2. The nodule opposition, age 56 through 57. The lunar nodes, north node, destiny. The south node, karma, oppose each other around 56 to 57. This is a soul-level crossroads. Symbolically, it represents a karmic culmination, a life path review, a moment where faith feels louder than free will. It's a time when people feel pulled toward meaning, purpose, and closure. For public figures, it's going to coincide with major transitions, revelations, or endings. The Chiron return is age 50 to 51, echoes into the mid-50s. Chiron equals the wounded healer. The Chiron return happens earlier, around 50 to 51, but its integration phase lasts years. By 56 to 58, people are often confronting old wounds resurfacing. The body's limits. The need for healing or surrender. For celebrities whose lives are lived under pressure, this can be especially intense. Why these ages feel symbolically fated. Even without literal causation, these transits create a mythic atmosphere around the late 50s. Saturn, mortality plus legacy, nodes, destiny plus karmic closure, Chiron, wounds plus healing. Must I go on, right? So the deeper metaphysical story, astrologically, ages 56 through 58 are not about death, they are about thresholds. They symbolize the end of one karmic cycle, the beginning of another, a confrontation with truth, a reorientation toward legacy, a release of what no longer serves. In mythic terms, this is the Saturnian gate, passage where the soul evaluates its journey. Some cross it symbolically, some cross it literally. So, what happened to Prince? Well, on April 21st, 2016, Prince was found unresponsive at his Paisley Park estate. The medical investigation determined that he had taken what he believed to be Vicodin, but the pills were counterfeit and laced with fentanyl, a synthetic opioid, far more potent than heroin. Cause of death, an accidental fentanyl toxicity. This was confirmed by the autopsy and official reports. The key details from investigators, pills were fake Vicodin, containing fentanyl without his knowledge. Prosecutors stated Prince likely had no idea the pills were counterfeit. Now, how did Shock G of Digital Underground die? A member of Digital Underground who passed away was Shock G, also known as Gregory Jacobs, not Shaggy. That's thought his name was Shaggy. Multiple reputable sources confirmed that Shock G was found dead in a hotel room in Tampa, Florida. Fox News reported he died at age 57. Both died at 57 here. Early reports stated no signs of trauma and an autopsy was scheduled to determine the cause. Digital Underground has, well, that's the confusion of Humpty Hump. So, there we go. Then we talk, there's Saturn square Saturn, final threshold. And at the time of Prince's death, he was moving through a Saturn square Saturn, a transit that often marks a confrontation with physical limits, a karmic checkpoint, a moment of reckoning with one's body and legacy. For someone like Prince who lived through intensity, discipline, and relentless creative output, this transit symbolically mirrors the body saying enough. Saturn is the keeper of time. Prince's passing during a Saturnian gate frames his death as a completion of a karmic cycle. 2. The nodal axis, destiny and departure. The lunar nodes were activating sensitive points in this chart, creating a symbolic environment of fate, transition, release, soul redirection. The nodes often show where the collective is paying attention. Prince's death became a global moment of mourning, aligning with nodal symbolism, the soul leaving the personal realm and entering the collective myth. 3. Neptune's influence, dissolution, mystery, and the veil. Neptune was strong in the sky in 2016, and Neptune's archetype is dissolution, mystery, confusion, the blurring of boundaries between worlds. Prince's death involved accidental fentanyl toxicity, a Neptunian signature, substance, confusion, hidden potency, the unseen. Symbolically, Neptune rules the moment when the soul slips out of the body like vapor. Prince, who was already a Neptunian figure, mystical, fluid, otherworldly, left the world under a transit that mirrors his essence. 4. Uranus. Sudden departure shock of the collective, or to the collective. Uranus was active in the sky, and Uranus symbolizes sudden event, shocks, liberation, departure from form. Prince's death was unexpected, abrupt, and electrifying in its impact. Uranus transits often coincide with events that jolt the collective away. His passing felt like a rupture in the cultural field, which is pure Uranian symbolism. The artist as architect, Prince's death as myth. Saturn, the body reaches its limit. Neptune, the veil dissolves. Uranus, the departure is sudden. Nose, the soul crossed the fated threshold. These are weaves the transits together. These are symbolism of transits that was going on as far as during Prince's death. So Prince then just died. He transitioned in a way that mirrors the mythic architecture of his life, a boundary-breaking Uranian genius, a Neptunian mystic, a Saturnian master of craft, a nodule figure whose life and death shape collective memory. His death reads like the closing chapter of a cosmic script. Now, Shakji died at 57, right in the heart of the nodule opposition, a transit that happens to everyone around that age. Node symbolized destiny versus karma, the soul's contract, completion of a life chapter, a turning point between worlds. The nodule opposition often brings a sense of soul culmination. For public figures, it can coincide with the moment they shift from being a person to becoming a myth. Shakji's death instantly transformed him from a living artist into a cultural ancestor, pure nodule symbolism too. Saturn's shadow, mortality, legacy, and the body limits. At 57, he was also in the approach to his second Saturn return. 58 to 59, Saturn is the archetype of time, mortality, structure, the body's boundaries, legacy. Saturn transcendence often mark the moment when the physical vessel can no longer carry the weight of the soul's journey. Shakji was a shapeshifter. Humpty Hump. Shakji, the producer, the poet. Saturn's symbolism here is the collapse of the persona, the return of essence. His death during Saturnian phase frames it as a completion of a karmic cycle. 3. Neptune's veil, dissolution, mystery, and the artist's departure. Neptune was strong in 2021, and Neptune rules escapism, disillusion, the unconscious, the blurring of boundaries, the artist's return to the aether. Shakji was a deeply Neptunian figure, fluid, surreal, psychedelic, mythic. His music lived in dream space. Neptune's symbolism at his passing suggests the soul slipping out of form, the artist dissolving back into the collective unconscious, a return to the oceanic source of creativity. His death felt like a fade out rather than a rupture, very Neptunian. 4. Uranus, sudden shock, collective awakening. So Uranus was active in the sky, and Uranus rules sudden events, shocks, cultural disruption, liberation from the physical plane. Shakji's death was unexpected, and it sent a ripple through the collective memory of hip-hop. Uranus symbolized a jolt that wakes people up to a legacy they may have taken for granted. His passing reminded the world of his innovation, his alter ego genius, his influence on Tupac and West Coast hip-hop, his role as a cultural archetype. Uranus turns the individual into a lightning bolt. So 5, the artist as archetype. Shakji's death as mythic transition. When you weave these transits together, symbolism becomes clear. Nodule opposition, karmic culmination. Saturn, the body reaches its limit, legacy crystallizes. Neptune, the artist dissolves into myth. Uranus, the departure shocks the collective awake. Shakji didn't just die, he shifted dimensions in a way that mirrors his artistic identity. A Neptunian dreamer, a Uranian innovator, a Saturnian craftsman, a nodule figure whose life and death shaped a collective psyche. His passing reads like the final act of a cosmic performance. All right, so that's under an hour. So what do y'all think? Do y'all think these are just coincidences? Or, right, well, you think somebody took them out before their Saturn? Not necessarily, I'm not going to say what, but something about the heart here with Shakji. I don't see any, I see somebody leaving, however, I don't see anybody coming. This could be something of, like they say, the realization of, legacies. So, till next time.